Hello and welcome to episode 62 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. Jake is back this week. There's his face on screen if you are a video watcher. I don't know how you'd be an audio watcher, so it would have to be video watcher. But we are back together. No, we're back together. We've got back together, Jake. The relationship's back on.
Yeah,
clearly,
we were on a break.
Yeah, we were on a break. That was that was very much how that was pitched there. But yeah, I hope this week's been good to you all. How's your week been, Jake, mate? This is a Talking Wednesday podcast, by the way. Football, all that. We'll get there eventually.
It's been good. I needed the break. I've realised that it's the first season I've done where there isn't an international break, and they were normally quite crucial for me because it got me to recharge my batteries, and I got to this bit of I am feeling drained and burnt out. So I did pretty much nothing. I didn't do much social media interaction that much. There was F&D Awareness Day on the Friday, so I contributed in that. But apart from that, spent some time with the family, more stuff around my house and potted around, and it felt good just to have a break, and I recommend it to people. It's sometimes good to just have a break, chill, refresh, and have a Kit Kat or pick up a penguin.
All the brands are available.
I really can't say that word. I really shouldn't say that.
You didn't do too bad, to be fair. Carry on.
But yeah, it's been good. It's good to be back and doing it again and back into flow. But I was also looking at trying to do show notes this week, trying to find subjects and news at the moment. It's getting harder and harder.
Yeah, it's crap, innit?
Yeah.
Like there's not much, even though
Remember we had the drama where we would talk about this is happening and
it's all gone quiet. I've got no clickbait. The trolls will be loving it.
How's your week been? Apart from busy.
I'm 8 days on now, mate.
Oh jeez.
And I ain't stopping until Sunday, I think. So I had to miss the match again. Great. I should miss more matches, man. Because when I'm missing them, we're putting we put 4 past the team again. You know, it's like the ones I miss are the good ones. And it's quite frustrating.
The one where you just look at your phone while you're at work going, again?
Yeah, no, and I'm 8 days on. I'm 8 days on, but I'm not finishing until Sunday, so I'm going to miss it again and watch it being. Well, hopefully, me not being there will mean. Hey,
we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna be missing it this Saturday, so it's not for. But I'm at the end of the month, so I was talking about that. I was building up to something that was this weekend, so that was very busy. That was it was 14 hours on Sunday. 14 hours.
Oh.
Which was rough.
Not fun.
And that was when I was just there, you know.
Yeah.
That doesn't include traveling and all of that. But yeah. I get
a fun thing this weekend that I get to see my little inner dance competition, which is something I've never done before, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh, you can be a dance dad. You can go and not understand anything that's happening, but go, you did so well.
And then go, oh look, I want to drink, daddy, or cookie. Well, gone on all your stuff. The bill I got for this week's dancing stuff was a nightmare.
Oh yeah, no, it's not cheap, mate. It's not cheap. It's that's the thing. It's kids, innit? It's kids. Kids are always going to want dance lessons. Kids are always going to want arts lessons.
And they also want to always do everything.
And they should, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that age is good before they sort of really find the path of what they want to do. And they don't have to worry about that. That's the great thing about being a kid. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
As long as your parents let you, obviously. But you can try a load of things out and see what you really enjoy doing as a kid.
Yeah.
And then maybe you make a career out of it. I managed to do that, which is not too bad. I picked up my music career quite late, actually. I was more a teenager when I picked up the music side of it. But the theatre side of it, I've always done that. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I do more music stuff now, to be honest. But encourage your kids. Encourage your kids.
I come from a music background in my household, and we were all told play piano, play violin, play drums, do acting and similar kind of thing. And I was always had it I think it was 12:30 every Saturday, orchestra, 12:30 to 1:30, and then I'll go do 10-pin bowling afterwards.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is a lot of things are on Saturday, Sundays. So if you want to do like sport as well, you do get to a point where you have to pick.
You have to pick and choose what you want to do.
The difficult thing for me is like if you've got a kid who's into sport, right, and they could be a really good footballer. The problem is there's much more of a long. It's not as well paid, but there's a longer career and a more chance of career in the arts, in my opinion, which is weird. You know, because you think in the sports there is there, but then again, you could be a coach and you could go that way and you could make a career out of it that way. But it is weird that sport doesn't often get seen as the you're not going to get a job in that. Whereas I actually think if you look at the music industry and that, and you look at the arts industry, there is, as long as you apply yourself to it, there's positions there. You just need to not always expect the top.
The weird one that I'm seeing a lot of at the minute is a lot of colleges are now offering like esports places. So people are looking in going into broadcasting or
the broadcasting side of it's good, yeah.
Yeah, doing the presenting side, and it's all skills that can be transferable over into different jobs. So it's always good to see that going down.
Yeah, that for me shouldn't be a course. That for me should be part of a presenting course. It should be part of a drama degree.
Yeah.
They need to stop making specific courses, right? These can be modules, right? There's a uni with a Lady Gaga degree, for Christ's sake. There can be modules in there. When I went to uni, I took specialisms, right? And I got specialisms on my degree because I took certain modules.
Yeah.
That is how you do it. You don't need to do a bloody degree in esports. If it's for the presenting side of it.
Also, how do you sell that to your mum and dad? I'm going to go to college. Oh, what are you doing? Bricklaying, cooking? I'm going to play computer games.
We are going to sound like the absolute boomers. Like, what do you mean you want to do? Dance. What do you mean you want to, you know?
Hey, fair play to anyone that does it, though. If you can do it, then great. It's one of those things where, we are going to sound like boomers, aren't we?
Yeah.
But it's good seeing her getting into stuff, and hopefully she can be less sassy to me and be sassy to someone else. Who's doing my head in.
I don't know. There is still, I am old-fashioned in one way. There is still something amazing about being able to do something yourself physically with an instrument or with your voice or with something with you don't need anything else. It doesn't rely on something else, you know. I love video games. I game all the time. And I would happily go down that side and have that as a career, not playing games, but like reviews, things like, mild journalism. A lot of work in video game journalism, but that sort of thing. Yeah. That'd be something I'd be like, I'd do a bit of that. But the fact that I can play instruments, the fact that I could do that and train that, and I've got the theatre side, it is being able to do something without anything else, you know, without anything digital. So if the internet shut off or you ended up without power for something, you could still do your work. You know, you've still got that, and there's that connection with the work for me that I like. And I do think more jobs are becoming digital. And I do think there is that side of it there. But for me, even if it's not your career, having a skill that's like that, there is still that part of old-fashioned, the old-fashioned sort of thinking that I do stand by that one. There's still the part of me that I think like just the basic kind of like you still do it in like woodworking, metalwork and stuff like that. But I think there's more stuff that should be designed on how to maintain a home, like how to repair things, that kind of thing, because those skills are valuable. Yeah. So it's, instead of going, oh, this is broke, ring someone else like, well, I need this, and this, got it, done. Yeah, it's an interesting one because you can obviously everything's at our fingertips now. But I always think it's because we live in such a. This is a great start to the podcast. Timestamps, get them ready, right? But because we're such in like an Americanized Western, we forget that the UK doesn't have the infrastructure in most of its cities than the major cities. Well, London basically, right? Yeah. If you're not in London or Manchester, like this, the infrastructure isn't the same as you would have the like American-based media, USA, sorry, not America. America's a continent. Everybody always does this. That side of you've always got this infrastructure. Round here, you'd struggle to get gigabyte internet in most places. You know, I think I've got it. I think we've got it here, but we've only got it with one provider.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because it's a monopoly.
It's nowhere near where I am yet. And it won't be for a while.
I don't know if it's... Yeah, I think it is. I think they've just upgraded to the gigabyte here, but we're not on it.
Yeah.
We actually want the competitor to come in so we can bounce between them because I'm sick of paying... Well, we're sick of paying what we're paying.
Yeah.
And you can renew and stuff like... But it's kind of like, you know, when you're in that position where you're like... everything else is like capped at 60 megs. And these are like... You're like, this is ridiculous because when you use the internet, you need that.
Yep.
Right? When you do what we do, for example, you need it.
Yep.
Anyway. Yeah. I've been busy. I've always been busy. You can probably tally up the amount of times I've said on the previous podcasts. I've been busy. Everybody's busy. Get over yourself.
You're that man in the pub that goes, how you doing? No, I'm fine.
Yeah, I like the pub. I miss the pub. I miss having time to go to the pub. I need to go to the pub. No, I'm not going to the pub. I'm probably going to sleep after this. I'm a little sleep because I was straight back in. I've got...
Shall we do the housekeeping?
Do we have to? Can we just end the podcast here? And no, I'm joking. I'm looking forward to it today. I'm looking forward to being back and chatting with you. I've not really spoke to you this week.
No, you've been busy, as you've said.
I've just ignored you. It's like being a wall of messages from you, and I've just kind of like gone, I've read that.
What's this sodding idiot want again?
Yeah, usually. Rearranging the words to try and make it make sense. Like, Christ, Jake, I'm too tired to read this.
Your dyslexic brain does not work with mine. Leave me alone.
When I'm very tired, it's tricky. Right. Housekeeping. Yes. Please start emailing us if you want the Discord. TalkingWednesdayPodcast@gmail.com. I get a lot of people in the YouTube comments going, can you post it here? No. No. We don't want to leave it randomly on threads with different links and different uses. Just start emailing if you want it. We want to keep that community fairly tight. We want to make sure that you at least go out your way to drop us an email or something if you want to be involved in it. So, yeah, but we do want more people involved, and maybe we'll still occasionally post the link in the community tab every so often. But if you want it, drop us an email. If I can remember,
I'll put it in the comment section, the email address, and we can pin it to the top of the comment section.
The email address is read here as well, and it should be. Yep. I might put. Yeah, and there's always a business email address on the YouTube page anyway. But yes, it's also podcast services. So Talking Wednesday Podcast, all one word, @gmail.com. Thank you. You can also support us financially with membership available only on YouTube at the minute. Drop us a join button. Don't drop us a join button. Just click the bloody join button.
Yes.
Drop us. You don't drop us this. You don't drop us that.
That sounds like you're just about to drop the latest hats about to
if
drop.
you say drop us a like, oh. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, Jake.
No, you're tired.
I don't know what I'm saying. We've got no reviews. Leave us reviews. You can do that too, for Christ's sake. And we've still got a topic before we get into the football. I just need to get into football now. Maple Leaf writes in and says, would you rather have a free personal chef or a free personal maid?
Difficult one for me, this one, because I am a fully trained chef in my trade. So, and I kind of already do the personal maid service in my house because my wife called me the house B word because I tidy up because I'm a bit of a neat freak. So I'd probably go with the personal chef.
I don't like,
but I like cooking when I'm allowed to.
It's an interesting one because I don't have time to tidy up a lot of the time, and then I have to spend like half a day tidying everything up once every few weeks because I've been busy. And then, but cooking, at the minute, I'm so routine, and I've been routine for over a month now, that I wouldn't need a personal chef. And if I had a personal chef, I'd be so tempted to like just overeat all the time. Oh no, not that. No, just overeat.
Just overeat.
And eat all the nice things. Yeah. Also, side topic again. I had a Pizza Express yesterday, right? Now, what's going on?
Where are you going with this?
It wasn't in Woking, and I was sweating.
Right, that's all right.
You're fine.
That's fine.
They don't have any dip for one. So I was like, can I get some mayonnaise or just some garlic and herb? Because I like a bit of garlic and herb dip, for the crust. It's really quite nice.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, we don't do garlic and herb dip. Can I have some mayonnaise? We don't do mayonnaise. Just some ketchup, then that'll be fine. We don't do ketchup. I was like, you don't do ketchup. I know, I'm not in Italy, mate. If I'm having pizza that is it's nice. I'm not gonna want the dip or anything. But if I'm having a Pizza Express or sort of mid-level pizza,
yeah,
I'll have something to dip it into, please. And I was just, but they were like, no. Oh, but we've got barbecue dip, but you have to buy that. I was like, well, I'm not. That's even more monstrous because I'm not. That would completely overpower any of the taste I wanted. I don't want that. So this makes no sense. It's not complimentary to it. And I was just sat there fathoming it we sort of gone for it because we were doing a really long day. We went for a lunch work lunch, sorry. And I was just looking around I was saying, did you spend the
rest of the day going, no dip with what?
I was quite shocked because I know it's quite. I don't even think it's quite necessarily American to do such a thing, because I know they like their ranch and they like all of that and stuff like that. But I was shocked. So everybody who's listening to this podcast, when you're next in Pizza Express,
take your own dips.
No, ask for all the dips and just keep doing it until they go, we probably should.
I just got this image of you next time going to a Pizza Express with a shotgun thing with ketchup, mayo. Right, I brought my own dip. It's fine.
I'm just not going again. No, the pizza was all right. Was all right. I'd just never been. I'd never been, and I was shocked.
Fair enough.
I'm more of an ask man than a Pizza Express man. I quite like asks. They're all right. If I'm going to that level of sort of pizza chain.
Yeah.
And asks have dip. Anyway. Should we talk about Sheffield Wednesday? 20 minutes into recording. So, Sheffield Wednesday played Cheltenham at Hillsborough this week. Talk me through it, Jake.
It was a good game for us. Really good game for me as well, because I got to take my little one for the second game ever. And she absolutely loved it. Told her don't get used to this many goals, but maybe this season's a rarity because we'd had a lot. And I will say something. Barry Bannon song All the Way Home. Really nice. Thanks for that. But yeah, good game. But the issue is they started well and we didn't wake up. It was a sucker blow to us, and it's could this be another...
Hang on, no, we're not letting that one sit. It was a what?
Sucker blow.
That ain't a word, mate.
Well, it is now.
That ain't. I wasn't just going to sit and let that happen. Sucker punch. It wouldn't be a sucker punch. It would be to the end.
That's the word I wanted.
But it's still sucker punch wouldn't be it's not the right terminology. But I wouldn't usually pull you up on it if you'd have said sucker punch. But sucker blow?
Yeah.
Mate.
Joe.
Mate.
Joe. I've had a week
Sounds like a category. That's all I'm saying. Carry on.
Okay, that really does actually. But it was that whole thing. It was how are we going to come back from this? Because it was a really good finish. Alfie made 20 goals for this season for him as well. So he's done really well since leaving Donny. It was actually Darren Moore that let him go from Donny. But we came back into it. And whenever we get back into games, you think, right, it's gonna be a usual scorer. But Massimo Luongo overhead kick. What's going on? Really, and he took it really well, and we had a lot of chances in that first half, but we couldn't make any of them stick. Came to the second half, they came forward at us and at feed, and we kind of had that whole thing where the way we started the first half, we were having to wake up. And I've noticed recently, sometimes we'll come out in first and second half not awake, and we have to get into the game. It's like we need to get punched in the face to wake up to get into a fight. And it needs to stop doing that. We need to be ready from the moment get-go.
Not good when you want to do playoffs. Not good.
No. But we do make it 2-1. Great goal by Lee Gregory. Took it really well. But Bailey kept us in it. He really did. Pulled off 2 really good saves. They hit the post and it could have been 2-2. But then the great ball from Barry Bannon to Johnson, who did some little mini keepy up. And then Jack Hunt finally gets his goal. And what a goal it was. It was a lovely volley. And I'm really pleased for him to get that goal because he worked so hard at it. And he's been doing it nearly all season. He nearly had one, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. Most matches, there's been a chance where he's been eyeing volleys all season specifically. And he's been getting forward, and he used to have a goal in his locker and the cross, and he was an attacking fullback. So to see him get a goal was nice. It was nice to
and seeing some of the comments from some of the Wednesday lads on social was actually interested watching them go with the hugs and stuff, and you could tell the lads were really happy for him to get that goal because he'd been working on it. And then Joe Byers finishes it off with a kind of little. It was a really weird shot, really, wasn't it, when you look at it, because he hit it. I think he mishit it and it comes deflected in. But again, we are very good when we're at home at times and like to score a lot of goals. It's really good play for us this season. And if we can get that away record to just this back end of this season going now, we could cement ourselves in there. But it depends which Wednesday turns up. But great to see us get all 3 points and do it in style, because I'll be honest, I don't think it was a 4-1 game. It was a 2-1 game.
No,
we really.
I trust your opinion
it.
on that one as well. Obviously, I didn't see the 90 this one. But from looking at it stats wise, it's flattering, and from what you've said and what I've read and what I've analysed, it does look like a typical Wednesday performance recently, but with the added goals that we've been missing towards the end. When it matters to switch on and actually score the goals. We've been playing really well controlling a lot of games, but we've not been putting the ball in the back of the net. This just was one where we weren't, we score all our goals in one game again. Hopefully that isn't the case, and hopefully we can kick on. But it's putting us in the right places now. And actually, crucially, these sort of games are helping our goal difference.
Yeah.
And our goal difference is looking quite tasty.
I think our goal difference is 22 now, I believe.
Yeah.
And at one point I think it was near January, we were talking about how our goal difference was poor and it needs to go up. And we've just hit that other level, but we've not got to have that high from this game, and then we've got to roll on it now and go into it, because I think sometimes we get too high and then we go to the next game expecting the same and the players don't deliver it. It's like, it's a weird one. But
well, I was watching the score on this one and I saw us go 1-0 down, and then I saw this immediate equaliser and I was like, okay, cool. And then I just lost signal for the rest of the afternoon. And then I saw 4-1 and I was like, all right then. And there's a lot of Wednesday fans that do that all the time. So when Wednesday get a 1, if that had stayed at 1-1, it wouldn't have told the story. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing, which is why you can understand a lot of social media and people that just spout off when they've not seen the match, Because now at 4-1 actually looks really, really good. And it is really good as a result. But as a performance, we still need to make sure that we're not switching off.
We just got to wake up at times and start games properly. And as much as I'm saying Bailey bailed us out a lot, mind the pun, but he he had some time where he was kicking the ball and it was going to like he was barely beating people, like getting it right. And Bailey does have that situation where there's some games where you think he looks solid, and then some games he's just not there at all. And he desperately needed to put a hat on. He really needed to put a cap on because he was really struggling with the sun. But fair credit to Bailey for turning around and saying, look, can I play this game and then come meet you Tuesday because I've got a game to do? Because this is his international break weekend.
Yeah, I must say that was. I'm assuming that is what was said. He asked for it because we need him, and that shows commitment to me. Because a lot of players will just go off if they don't really. But he's committed to this, and I appreciated that. And
I think because Joe Wildsmith's partner is due soon, they weren't sure if he was going to be able to be in net anyway. Yeah. Kind of thing, and. It makes an interesting situation that a player who's actually not our player says, I want to stay here and do this. It said something about him going, he obviously thinks we can do it, and he got the confidence to do it.
But we can do it. That because exactly, he's stayed crucial saves in that game, and he's put us right back into the swing of it after a couple of shaky results. We're straight back in that pack, and we're looking good on paper with it. Let's just go quickly through the game. So there was one in midweek, Plymouth-Cheltenham, who obviously we've just played. Plymouth beat them 2-0. Not great there, really, for us. Plymouth, again, putting points on the board. We will talk about that a bit more in a second. Wednesday, obviously, we're at the weekend fixtures now, 4-1 against Cheltenham. Accrington Stanley lost to Gillingham. Gillingham won away from home.
They really, they're looking like they could get safe now. Yeah. Harris has done a fantastic job.
Speaking of safety, we're clearly not referring to Doncaster, who lost again at home to Charlton, 1-0. Ipswich Town beat Plymouth. So Plymouth,
ideal for us.
First stumble in a little while, that. Yep. Cambridge beat Wimbledon. Not good for Wimbledon. And we'll talk a little bit about that later on. And Shrewsbury beat Lincoln 1-0, which Lincoln, where are Lincoln now?
They're like 16th, 15th.
Yeah, because I know they weren't. Yeah, they're bang mid-table now. They are.
The thing with Plymouth, Plymouth have managed to win those games they had in hand, so they've managed to cement it. And it was what they were saying: they were either going to do that or it's going to be struggle, and they've just gone with it. And it's an interesting looking at when you look at top half of the table and bottom half of the table. It still could go down to very last day on everything. Which is nice, but when you're in the positions we're in,
it's not good for the blood pressure. It's not good for the blood pressure. I'll just read you the table. So Rotherham are at the top on 80 points. Rotherham have had a few draws and a few losses recently.
They're wobbling.
They could be caught. Not by us, but they could be caught.
Wigan or MK, I reckon.
Yeah. They've got to be careful because with Wigan could get that top spot quite easily because they're a point. I think actually Wigan will win the league by the looks of it. There's a chance Wigan will win the league. They've got the better form recently. They have just lost. No, they've just won. Sorry, this I'm reading does it the form backwards. But MK, they are unbeaten in their last 6 at least, and that's 5 wins. That 5 wins out of 6 in their last 6, and they're only 4 points behind Rotherham. So Rotherham have got to be careful because I know a lot of it's very probable they'll still get automatics. They're 4 points ahead. They're on 80 points. MK Dons are on 76 and Wigan are on 79. But Wigan have got 2 games in hand and MK Dons are on a run. So got to be careful that you don't get caught behind that. Don't really want MK Dons to go up though.
No. Because that'll be awful because all we'll hear about is Corbin.
I'm more about the franchise, to be honest.
Yeah, true. It would be really sad as well if MK go up and Wimbledon went down.
Yeah, that's what I really don't want to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to slate the fans because obviously you think about it, it happened quite a while ago now, so there will be a generation of legit fans, but still, it's
always left a sour taste in people's mouths.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Plymouth in 4th, 74 points. They have got a game extra played, though, over most people around them. They've played 40 matches now on 74 points. Oxford on 69 points, only in fifth above Wednesday, who are also on 69 points on goal difference. And that goal difference is only 3 goals now.
Yeah.
The goal difference for the top 6 stands at Rotherham have got 39, Wigan have got 32. So they're pretty much quite far ahead on goal difference. But the actual other 4 in the playoffs, this is where it gets interesting. MK Dons 26, Plymouth 26, Oxford 25, Wednesday 22. So it's getting closer on the goal difference front there.
Yeah.
Sunderland, however, who are 2 points behind us, same games played, in 7th currently. We've got 4 more goals than them on goal difference. They've got 18 points. And that is a bigger thing for us with Sunderland, fighting it out with us. And then we've got below that, we've got Wickham, who have got a goal difference of 15. Their goal difference is going to... They're currently 3 points behind us, but their goal difference is going to let them down if that's the case.
To be fair, look at how good we've been at home. It's something stupid like we've had 44 points at home this season. And we're one of the top scoring clubs at home. And I think that's really made an impact. It's just a shame we haven't had the great away record. But I think when we went up last time from League One, it was always Fortress Wednesday that got us there.
Yeah.
Fortress Hillsborough even.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I wasn't going to correct you, actually. For the first time, I wasn't going to be an arse. They both stand, wouldn't they? Swinging these results together is what we need to be doing, especially at home. As you say, it needs to be a fortress, and battering teams here would be helpful. So, looking ahead to hopefully more points and potentially another battering, but probably not. This is going to be a rough one, this one.
Yep.
We'll talk about Wimbledon's stats a little bit more, but they have just sacked their manager, so it's worth mentioning the main part of the podcast here. So this is from their club website. Club statement, quote, head coach Mark Robinson is today part of company with AFC Wimbledon by mutual consent. The club would like to place on record its gratitude for Mark and all his hard work, loyalty and commitment whilst in this role. There will be no further statement for the time being. They're in the relegation zone, right? Because there's 4 relegation spots in League One to go down to League Two. They obviously probably have caretaker charge. They haven't got a new manager yet. And they're playing us at the weekend. Is this new manager bounce written all over it? Is this just like interim bounce written all over it, perhaps?
They've not won. I think they haven't won in 20. I think I read somewhere.
That's not ideal for them,
so,
is it, really?
It's not good for them considering how good we are at home as well. And it's...
Yeah, but this is typical Wednesday, isn't it?
I'm going to say this is typical Wednesday banana skin. That where, this is the thing you should be beating. They just sacked the manager, low on form, and then it goes the other way.
You see, here's the thing. They'll try and play for a point, and that'll just screw us up. Because they won't go for the win because they know what'll happen. Because we're really good at team, and you know this.
Yeah.
These teams that we're playing that are fighting for their lives in this league, we're struggling against them because they just come and park the bus.
Yep.
And I don't really blame them when they're fighting for their lives. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, I know what you mean.
It's going to happen again. And it's going to be difficult to break down. So that's why, ideally, we need an early set piece or we need an early goal and we need to get a goal. And then they've got to come at us a little bit more, and then we really apply the pressure and finish it off, get a goal before half-time, and then
I think the nice thing is having a week where there's no games as well will help us. Just get some bodies in and around ready for it. Because the interesting thing in the game at weekend, we had Dean and Story at the back.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that partnership, but you can tell that's a partnership that hasn't played much football together.
Yeah, that's just fact, though. What did you think about Iorfa getting benched?
Bit unlucky, but I understand it. I think some of the players were trying not to do too much with them because of recurring injuries. But I think right call, Dean and Dory, just to see what happens. And I think it's that thing now, he got a lot of choices at the back now. He got same players that you can put in and out, because you got to remember we've got an Easter weekend that's going to be very interesting soon, because they're the kind of games where it's back to back on those things where we need to pick those points up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Wimbledon manager as well. It could be they might make an appointment before Saturday, so there's more to be said on that potentially.
Right, what that statement says, it says they're not got anything yet. So it's either going to happen Friday or it can happen after the game. It's a weird one. Where do you put the appointment if you're fighting? Do you give someone a firefighting job? If you stay up, you get the job? Or you give it to like coaching staff and say, see what we can do, and then we'll start afresh if we're in League One, and then go for someone like that?
Yeah. They're in a similar situation to when Wednesday sort of appointed Darren Moore. But,
Yeah, very much so.
What do you think about this fixture rescheduling with the MK Dons fixture? There's been quite a bit of uproar with this for Sky TV.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Because they've not put the fans thinking about fans at all on this. It's just about what can get on the telly. And yes, you'll get people who are like, oh, it's Easter, I'm not going anywhere, I'm spending time with family, I can go sit and watch it. But there's fans that will go.
Who the hell just sits in on Easter?
There's people that do.
I know. I do forget that like religion is still a thing where people will, and Easter's still a thing for quite a lot. For me, it's just like it breaks up the year. Yeah. And I forget that as I become an adult that people do still like Easter's sacred.
Yeah.
I'm not mocking. That wasn't mocking, but it sounded like mocking. I realise that now. But I never see it as. I always forget. So, I don't think people are sitting in specifically on Easter, mate. I think if they're going to go to the football,
no, but there'll be people who will have to pick between either going to the football or spending time with family. There are some people who will get things done. The people I know go away round here because it's half term, so they might not be. Yeah. So it might be a case of the half term break. Easter.
Oh God, I just realised I've booked some time in April, and I bet you that lines up with it's around Easter as well. So that'll be fun. God. That'll be fun.
But you look at when they've done this, and the trains for when to get back, they're done.
Yeah, that's what I have seen. Actually, late trains are tricky, and I don't like it when it messes with fans' plans, and it happens too much.
Happens all the time.
We shouldn't have to worry about that in League One now.
Well, look at when we had the Pompey game. It was off. It was on. It was back off again, and then it was on again for another Sky game. It happened this season with Pompey when we had to do that one. And it's just like when it comes to Sky games, I get it. It's all about money. They want the views and stuff. But at the same time, you got to think about fans. You got to give them enough time. And they might have thought, oh, this is enough time to do it. But people may have already booked hotels and stuff ready for this kind of thing to say, I'll go here and then think. The only thing I can think is they've gone, oh, it's the Easter weekend. People are going to be off. Not everyone's going to be off.
No, they're not. I mean, not for the full weekend. It's a bank holiday, isn't it? Easter Monday. So people are off for that. There should be.
Actually, that'll be interesting.
Unless you're in emergency services or hospitality or things like that, or you work for yourself.
That'll be interesting because we will have to work out what day to do that podcast because we've got a game that Monday.
Yeah, there's a chance I'm not around actually either, so we'll have to talk about that after the podcast. Yep. We'll see. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it when fans get moved around. But I also do appreciate matches being televised. But I do think we need to find it. That's the problem, right? I think all matches should be televised or on some sort of streaming service. So this crap doesn't happen because you don't have to move things for prime slots. I know that they'd still be doing all of that, but if everything was televised, there'd be other options for fans anyway.
Yeah.
Right? More options for fans is a big deal.
And the club's done quite well as sorting stuff out and getting transport down there and making sure fans get down there and be able to support. So fair play to the club. Yeah,
the club, the subsidising stuff is decent. It's nice to see it was a really good gesture from the club actually. So keep listening. Right, so I did a little short about this to get some opinions, but all the media outlets, the Star, Yorkshire Live, and everything, I think they've now. Actually, don't quote me on Yorkshire Live. I think I saw an article, but I know the Star have. They've confirmed that Windass, his injury, he suffered a setback, so it looks like. I don't think I can't see in this article that they've used the words end of the season. I think the rumours were going around midweek that it could be it is out for the season.
I think the rumour were he was out for the season, and that was the Thursday, and on the Friday they spoke to Darren on the press conference where he said it could be 2 weeks until he's back, which we know about hamstring injuries this season. It seems to be what keeps getting most of our players, and he only had to do something in the wrong way and it's gone again.
Yeah, I did a reaction to the rumours basically because it looked like the way the Star reported it originally was like they were confirming the rumours, and then obviously speaking to him that's changed. So the video when I said he's out for the season was going off all of that, but in being even further out, it is coming up towards the end of the season because 2 weeks. If that's 2 weeks, right? If that turns into 3. It could very well be.
It could be the end of the season.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of people have a go and go on Twitter going, stop going into boxing and stop doing boxing stuff. It's like your football. It's like he's still allowed to go do things, kind of thing. And
is he watching boxing or is he boxing himself?
I think he's done some sparring.
Right, okay.
Kind of thing. Nothing like properly in the ring, but like just general fitness.
Well, he's got to be careful with whatever he does on that because he is a professional athlete, but he knows that, right?
Yeah.
Every athlete knows that. So you got to be careful with what you do outside because you can't get injured for you.
It's just a shame because we were all like, right, he's coming back, perfect time for him to come back near the end of the season, what we need.
Yeah, that is the unfortunate side. I did get some reaction in the comment on the shorts because I was asking for an immediate reaction. We had Phil Starr saying early April Fools ? People saying for real, he's out for the season. We had Steve White saying could do with selling, to be honest. He's an injury problem next season, whether in the Championship or indeed League One. He'll be out. He'll be one of the ones who could be major for us, but can't be having him sat on the treatment table for the majority. Get him sold and bring in someone younger. So a strong one from Steve there. I'm making sure this isn't a bad username to read out. It's not really. I'm just going to say this is from Otto. I'm going to read that. Right. Good player, bad luck this season. We've done well enough considering our injury luck. As long as other key players stay fit, I don't foresee a problem with our promotion push. And Footsie says, not at all. We're sick without him. He's contributing very little. Because I was asking, is this a big problem for Wednesday? I probably should have said that at the top. That was the question I was asking. Andy on the Discord, he actually brought a topic to us and says, obviously I want to talk about Windass. Do you think he'll ever play for Wednesday again now? His deal is up next summer. So if we're going to get any money for him, we'd have to let him go this summer.
I don't know. I can understand if Wednesday was like, we've seen the injury, it might keep reoccurring. On the club, kind of say we'll get someone in younger, like Steve said, but he signed a new deal because he liked being here. He liked working under Darren Moore. If that was the case, while he was still injured as well. Let's remember, he signed his deal while still injured. He could have quite easily just gone, you know what, I'll stay injured, get a couple of goals, and I'll go at the end of the summer.
I was chatting to a Wednesday fan the other day. Obviously, but I was chatting to another Wednesday fan who said, we see, and I like this quote, he said, we seem to have a habit at the minute, and we've had it for quite a while, of paying players to do very little. You know? And I think that would be a little bit unfair to tie to like Windass and stuff because it's unfortunate with stuff like that. But that has been a culture around the club. We look after players quite well. And a lot of players seem to get injured. It's a little bit comfy there, you know, with that. And I'm not saying this specifically ties to Windass. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm sick of seeing our players get injured, we do need a proper investigation into that.
Yeah.
And not much is coming out from it, the investigation that's going on.
I think the investigation's still going. That's the thing. I think they're trying to get to the bottom of this, and they're trying to do a full, proper investigation and see what they can try and improve in the summer so it doesn't happen again.
Let me ask you the main question then. Let me ask you do you think that it hinders our playoff chances? Does it hinder our promotion chances, Windass being out? Is it big for us if he's out for the season?
If he's out for the season, I think it is, because the player that can come off the bench if he's not starting and give you that impact. He's an impact sub, even if it's just for you put him on the 70th minute and he can terrorise defenders. Yeah. We don't really have that impact player on our bench. You look at Canberra, you look at you look at Pat. They're not off the bench. We need a goal, make something happen players. They're good and they contribute, but they're not that kind of when we need it kind of thing. Because you look, when he came back, he got 4 goals really quickly. He was up for it. He was up for the fight. And there's nobody really on our bench that I can go, right, it's 0-0. We need a goal now. Who's going to get it?
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? I'll answer that as well. I'll just make sure we actually answer Andy's question. I would wait to see what happens at the end of the season, Andy, purely because if we can get him back just for the playoffs, for me, he's the player, and this answers the question I asked you.
God, it's Steve McLean all over again.
He is literally the player that can come off the bench at the playoffs and fire us to promotion.
Yeah, it's Steve McLean back when Paul Stewart was in charge all over again.
Yeah. Because you come on and change a game. And that's the thing, Wednesday do lack that plan B. People say Darren Moore lacks a plan B, but in the squad, there isn't many options for a plan B. And yes, you can say that's down to recruitment and the fact that it's hard to have a plan B if he doesn't recruit the players to play in a different style or come on and do it. Yeah. But also, we've had no money, but that's a different kettle of fish, that one. But we do need players like Windass to come on and change a game, have that spark, not afraid to try things. It's difficult this season. Going off this now, if somebody came in for like $1 million for Windass, which they won't do now. No. I know there was talks of 3, wasn't there, or something before? Yeah. If somebody came in for $1 million for Windass, you'd probably cut your losses.
You say, yep, take that. Good luck.
Yeah.
The thing is, and you got to remember, people were offering a lot of money when he was already still injured. So they were expecting him to come good, even when he had some of the offers, kind of thing.
Yeah. Speaking of injuries, Shadipo might be back. We've been saying this for a little while. He's on his way back. We might see Shadipo.
He is that impact player that does help, though.
I hope he's not watching this about my Easter comment earlier, actually.
I just completely... The time when I looked at this squad and gone, oh, yeah, I forgot about him. And he's one of them. Because so he said, oh, we got Shadipo to come back. Or Shadipo, when's he next back? Like, oh, yeah, that one. That player. Yeah. Because we've had so many injuries this season. It's hard to keep up who's back and who's not.
Yeah. True. I just need to clarify, actually, because I've just realised this is a podcast and it's long form. There is people in our community that I know are like religious and stuff like that. So when you know me though, okay? So when we don't push our own beliefs on people and things like that. So I was just saying, like, if I make the odd comment, you know it's not coming from a place of malice, by the way. Just say everybody is welcome. I was everybody believes what they believe, and that's cool. I think I should say that though, because we do talk to a lot of people in this community, and I don't want anybody to listen to a podcast and feel like they're not included. Do you know what I mean? No, completely. Unless you're an arse, then you're not included.
Well, apparently I had a comment this week that I'm a blade in disguise, and I don't represent the Sheffield Wednesday fan base.
Mate, you can't even say blade.
They do say Sheffield United fans are obsessed with us, so doing 11 years worth of content on Sheffield Wednesday will be up there for them.
Yeah, just like...
It just made me giggle.
It's always like, oh, you better go and support the other side of the city. It's always that. It's always like the people that comment that are probably the people that should be supporting the other side of the city, because they're clearly not. They're not following their all Wednesday thing, are they?
Yeah.
Actually, as you said, United probably follow that more than that Wednesday fan there. Anyway, Barry Bannon's just played his 300th game for Sheffield Wednesday. 300 appearances of Barry Bannon.
Wow.
He's been. So the Star have done a piece on this. They actually spoke to him. And here's what Barry Bannon said, quote, "I didn't know how big they were until I came." Great start. "My first game for the club was against Burnley away, and there was an unbelievable following there. So after I started to ask questions, I remember saying to Glenn Louvens one day, I didn't know it was this big." Take that out of context if you want. I think I'm so immature today. Just the fact that he turned to Glenn Louvens and was like,
I didn't know it was
that. I think our fans like to see people giving it their all, and they like to see passion, people who aren't happy to lose. It's been the best 6 or 7 years of my career so far, and that comes from playing games. It's all I care about. I just want to play football. As long as I'm on a pitch, I'm happy. So, Barry Bannon at 300, what are you thinking?
He's been a really good servant, and the way he's committed to the club at the end of last season kind of said a lot of what it was. And I think he said in past he was looking for a club that was going to be a home for him, and he wasn't playing many games before he came to us. He's always been that player that's been in about. You've got to remember, he was part of that Blackpool team that got up to the Premiership, which I think a lot of people forget. And he's really, and I think this year he's really taken it on himself. He's got the bit that we've been lacking from his goals. He's getting close to, if not our top goal scorer this season. And every time you mention Barry Bannon to a League One club fan base, they go, he's just a cheat code in the league. He shouldn't be playing in.
Oh no, he shouldn't.
League.
He shouldn't. And it's because of his. You can feel like he feels like he owes us something from last season, and all the time he's been with Wednesday, he wants to put it right. You can tell.
Yeah, definitely. And we've taken to him a fan base, and there's some fans that said in the past, "Oh, sell him, he's not good." But at the end of the day, there's going to be that situation, group of fans that don't like certain players, and they've got something for it. But at the end of the day, when he plays 110%. At the moment he's on that pitch, if there's a mistake, he'll try and fix it himself. He'll run down balls that are at the back when teams are playing out from the back. I remember, I think there was a game in the Championship a couple of seasons ago. He ran from halfway line just to close the man down and then ran back to get back into position. There's something about when he plays football at times, you can tell he's a player that, like you said, he just wants to play. That's all he wants to do, play football. And he's been very good at just... I think he's actually grown into being quite a good leader now as well. At first, I wasn't a big fan of him being a captain.
Saying he's not. Yeah, people always say there's not captain material. But then again, people said Lees wasn't a captain. I could potentially see that. And then Bannon gets the captaincy. Oh, Bannon's not a captain. Who's a captain then?
Yeah, true.
You know like... Because... And they'd be like, give it to Hutch, but he's never on the pitch. Back when people were saying that, and I think the last captain, it's like Semedo. Do you know what I mean? He's the man, that sort of thing. But for me, Barry Bannon now epitomises everything because it's the ambition of Barry Bannon that makes him the captain. Yeah. And I get what the people were saying last season. We're in a relegation battle, so half of it was just him shouting at people. He's Scottish.
You mean the QPR game? You mean the
he's
QPR
Scottish.
Game where
That's just what they do.
Yeah.
You're married to a Scot.
I still think that QPR game was so funny, even though it shouldn't have been, when he was shouting at Joe Wildsmith in net.
Yeah. That's all I can remember whenever I think about him shouting is that game.
But it was good. It was good to see.
I'm also
hit that mark.
I've also, as if you didn't know, I am also got a lot of Scottish heritage, and I am part Scottish, so I can mock as well. Because technically, if you guys decide to go independent, I can get a Scottish passport.
Ditto.
So
also, it was Hutch's 200th appearance for us as well. There was a lot of milestones this weekend. It was Bannon's, it was Hutch's, and the one we're just about to talk about.
Yeah, Big P hits 350. He has hit his 350th career appearance.
Yeah.
So he posted that on his Instagram. Obviously, that's not really Wednesday related too, but he is a Wednesday player. It's not 350 for Wednesday, but he's played 350 games.
And I did see something on Twitter that someone had a photograph of him fishing in the River Don.
Yeah, I saw that. I think Brad or something like that onto my timeline.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, because we all know he likes his fishing. So he's obviously just gone to work, gone, I'll put my fishing stuff in the car and go for a bit of an afternoon fish.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I think it might have been a video that's coming,
Mm.
That's what I get the vibe. That was a content day. I forgot to mention, because I was soloing it last week, Berahino got an inform, and I wanted to just read what the inform is, because you can get him on both PlayStation and Xbox or whatever on Ultimate Team in FIFA for about 10k in the game currency, and he's got a 78 rated gold inform. It's not that useful if you want to use him for championship stuff, because he becomes a gold, but he's a striker in this position, not cam like he usually is. 80 pace, 81 shooting, and I've lost the page because for some reason the actual inform didn't just go straight across. Yeah, 79. No, sorry, it's 81 dribbling, 79 shooting, 36 defending, 75 passing, and 72 physical. Berahino is actually very useful in game. Very, very useful.
He's your star player.
He is in the career mode, which will come back. Again, it's not hit the like total, and people will still be like, this podcast will go out, and I guarantee you one of the comments will be somebody who's not watched the podcast. Yeah. When is Sheffield Wednesday career mode coming back? Like the bloody videos! But yeah, if you are a FIFA player, keep an eye out for Berahino. I love Maple Leaf, right?
Yeah, same.
Because
he's always coming in with
We've
topics.
Always got community, and the good topics,
yeah,
right? They're not talk about the match. Because when we ask the topic, and then people go, talk about the match. And you guys are great, but talk about the match. What do you think we do? For I know it takes us about 20 minutes to get into it, but it's what we do.
Yeah.
It's not a topic.
To be fair, I think the community topic will really come into its own come the summer.
It'll have to. Otherwise, we're not a podcast. Right. Maple Leaf again writes in on the Discord. Dex and Pump. Pump. I've just realised what your phone name would be.
Yeah.
You could probably change the 41 for another number as well.
I'm definitely not getting that on the back of a shirt.
No, oh, you are. That'll be a milestone. That'll be a milestone. Oh, God. No, kids are out of the room. Maple Leaf writes in and goes, Dex and Punk. Assuming we make the playoffs, which teams do you not want to face? For me, it's any team that will sit back, time waste, and frustrate us. If it's a team that will give it a go, I feel somewhat confident. I suspect all the teams that make the playoffs are more give it a go types, but which would change their strategy to sit back simply because they think it gives them the best chance to beat Wednesday. This is a good question, actually, because you then get into mind games territory, because if a team did that and it didn't work because it's not their usual play style, like Plymouth that come out and attack you, if they think, we'll sit back, and they don't do it effectively like these teams who are drilled in to do it week and week and week and week and week, that's where Wednesday could benefit, actually. So I fancy us for anyone in the playoffs. I don't really want Plymouth again, but we'll probably get Plymouth.
Because we played Plymouth so many goddamn times this season. I've had enough.
Yeah.
I think Oxford would be a team that would frustrate us on time waste. I think that's the team that you don't really want to get. I think against MK Dons, we could.
There's no nice teams in the playoffs because you've got to play two of them as well. That's what people forget. So for me, Maple Leaf, I'd take any of them because it's going to be probably not MK if they don't get automatic, because I'd like to avoid
Wigan.
MK. Or yeah, actually, Wigan, we can turn Wigan over.
Yeah.
But then again, we can turn Plymouth over as well. I think we'd have the upper hand on Plymouth now. I'd hope we'd done enough research on that one.
Well, Plymouth, we definitely done enough research. Just go back to the FA Cups and all the other games we played them.
Yeah. The one thing that I guess I'd probably want to avoid Plymouth because the mind games come into it, and the fact that we've both been on a couple of ends of batterings. I don't like that, because that would be a crapping your pants 90 minutes, especially if it was a semi-final playoffs, two 90 minutes, and you were just sat there crapping yourself.
Yeah,
for 90 minutes.
I still think MK Dons are going to go up automatically. I think it could be Wigan. For me. If you had to choose between Wigan, Oxford or Plymouth, I'd go Wigan.
No, I think it'd be Wigan to go up automatically, yeah. Yeah, the game's in hand. It's the game's in hand.
Yeah, true, yeah. They've got to do what Plymouth did.
I think we're going to win the league. I said this earlier in the podcast. But yeah, can
you imagine if Rotherham actually get into like the playoff situation because they've been top?
We would beat Rotherham in the playoffs. Because if it was two legs, we'd beat Rotherham in the playoffs. Because we outperformed a bit. We had a 2-0 loss where we were the better side.
Yeah.
You put that over 100, 180 minutes. No, it's 120 there. Games aren't 60 minutes long.
That's American football, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't watch that crap.
No, that's not American football. They do 4 quarters, so it's longer than that. That's what I just said.
Attention spans, innit? No, Maple Leaf, it's a good question. I probably want to avoid Plymouth.
Yeah.
So, next match for Sheffield Wednesday is Saturday, the 2nd of April at 3 p.m. Hillsborough. Yep. Sheffield Wednesday versus AFC Wimbledon. They've just sacked their manager, as we talked about a little bit earlier. What are your thoughts on this one? How should we go into it?
I'm a little bit worried about it now. Before they sacked the manager, I was like, yeah, we'll be fine. I think we'll do okay. But now they're going to have that whole kind of, right, we're going to play for something new, something different, new ideas. It all depends what they do and who's taking charge of them, and if there's something, say, the backroom staff has seen and they've been trying to implement and it's not worked because the manager's gone a different route. I think this could be a very interesting game now than it was going to be. I think if we can do what we've done, like Cambridge, like Cheltenham, without getting the goal to wake us up, I think there's a chance of them doing well. But this Wednesday side is so inconsistent. You don't know which Wednesday you're going to get.
We've also got more than double the points of Wimbledon, which makes it even worse when they get a result.
Oh, God.
We've got more than double their points.
Oh, right.
Their record is 6-15-18. They've won 6 matches all season.
I literally saw it all over Twitter this morning. People go, well, we know what can happen here then, don't we?
Annoyingly for us, their away record, even though that points-wise it's not better, they've actually got more wins. 4 of their 6 wins this season have come away.
Oh,
yeah. And they've had 4 draws away. They tend to draw a lot at home. They've had 11 draws at home, only won twice at home, and we lost 6 times at home. But they've lost 12. But they have lost 12 times away. So they've just not been a very good side this season. No. Which I've got a lot of respect for Wimbledon, right? Obviously, but Sheffield Wednesday, don't do it. Just don't do it. I can't be bothered.
Just let us keep it going a little bit, because after that we got Bolton away.
Their top scorers on 9 goals. Jack Rodoni. He's got 9 goals.
What have we got? Is it Bannon on 8?
That's a good question, actually. I haven't checked our individual stats for a while. Let's have a look.
I know Bannon's up there for the top goal scorer at a minute. I think it's him and Gregory.
We've got, I don't know if this is counted Saturday. Bannon's on 8, but he's got 8 assists as well. Gregory's on 9.
Right, Gregory's on 9. That's a little interesting battle between those two.
Yeah. Gregory's on 9.
And then right at the bottom, Jack Hunt on 1 at last.
Berahino's on 6.
Wasn't Windass like on 4 until he got injured?
He is. Where is he? God, they've not even listed him because he's injured. He's on the second half. There is. Yeah, Windass is on 4.
Yeah.
7 matches, 4 goals.
See? Impact player.
Yeah, exactly. Gregory's got 5 assists as well. That's not bad.
Wow.
Patterson's also on 6 goals. Him and Berahino are both on 6. Canberra's on 4.
They're chipping in.
Yeah. Adenir, even though we ain't had him for a lot of the season, he's on 3. George Byers on 5 now.
Yeah. There's so many people I've seen saying the same thing you said when you tweeted it. I like that he's our player.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Even though I absolutely love Lee Gregory's celebration with him. He got a cut head and Lee Gregory just smacking him on the cut going, yeah, it's like, ow.
Top bants, lads. Right.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode of Talking Wednesday podcast. You got anything to add, Jake?
Just thank you for the kind comments that were left in the last podcast last week. I do much appreciate it. It was nice to have a break, but good to be back. And let's see how this run goes till the end of the season.
Indeed. I hope you have a lovely week. We will see you next weekend. Next Monday, I believe. What's the date? I think we will. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We will see you next week for episode 63. But until then, take care, and we'll see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.